right, let me know. Let me know when you switch. All right. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the PlayVS TexSef X PlayVS Overwatch 2 Fall Season Week 5 match of Aubrey versus the Birdville Center of Technology and Advanced Learning. I'm one of your casters tonight, Caustic. Joining me as well is going to be Withering.
Hello, everybody.
So there is Withering, and we'll start off with the roster here. On the tank in the middle there, we have Raptor, the team captain and high school junior. On the DPS side, you have Texas, who is returning after a 1-year break. You've got Solar, who is the newest member to the team, also on the DPS. You've got Mint, another team captain as well for Aubrey. And on the support, you've got Dorcas.
Well, I'm
So
really
a
excited to get into this match, Caustic. I cannot lie.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun match. I mean, this is the roster you typically will see from Aubrey. For the map set, first map is going to be Lijiang Tower. After that, losers pick to the next maps, going from Hybrid to Flashpoint to Push, and then at the end, if there is a map 5, it'll be on Escort.
You know, Lijiang start, pretty traditional, I'd have to say. You can't really go wrong with Lijiang start, Caustic. But, I mean, personally speaking, I would love to see some Elios.
Yeah,
That's just me, though.
that's the Withering in you.
That's the ball
that's
player
you
in me.
talking.
I
Yeah,
love me some Elios. But, you know, Lijiang Tower, a staple of Overwatch esports in every facet of it. At the highest level and at, you know, even at like tier 2 and tier 3 levels as well. Lijiang has been a pretty big part of Overwatch esports as a whole. You know, it provides a lot of different compositional like ideas that you can run. You can go from classic brawl, maybe even some dive. You see the rush here. And in some metas back in the day, we saw some poke being played on Lijiang. So truly, it's up to the team and their comfort on this map. But I think ideally, in the ideal world of Lijiang, you're going to see some rush and maybe brawl.
yeah. I mean, very fair analysis on that. Yeah, that definitely does make sense. And going on real quick here, just listing off the hero bands. Excuse me. Listing off the hero bands, we are going to have Aubrey banning the Weaver to start off, and then Birdville Academy is going to choose to ban the Tracer.
Well, you know, seeing this Weaver ban on Lijiang Tower makes me think that Aubrey is maybe opting to do protection bans for a support. I do not know what the ban rules are primarily, but assuming it follows pretty standard ban rules, you cannot ban from the same role in the same ban wave, but you can ban that character eventually if you are the other team banning. But I believe that this Life Weaver ban is more than likely to protect another support, maybe a Kiri, maybe a BAP, maybe an Ana if they're ever so daring. And the Tracer ban on this map, definitely valuable. Tracer's a threat on most maps. That backline pressure that Tracer provides, combo with the fact that she just is always going to be annoying to anybody on your team, unless you specifically go to target and counter that Tracer. It's just probably your best choice for a ban on DPS, at least.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people like to play the Tracer, so
I mean,
it's a staple
it's
character
a stable
as well.
character,
Like,
yeah, exactly. It's also it's one of those characters where you can't really go wrong with it.
yeah, it's Tracer. I find can fit into so many different compositions. It's just the defaulto choice. You know, it's the de facto. Sorry, it just makes sense. You know.
Well, Cossack, I don't know about you, but personally, I'm ready to see some Lijiang towering.
Oh yeah, Lijiang Tower is going to be great. Yeah, we're ready. We are ready. I believe the match should be starting relatively shortly. But yeah, no, Lijiang Tower, I've kind of missed it a little bit. I haven't seen it as much as I used to. Really loved. I mean, I love watching Lijiang Tower. The different map types fit so well. I find like the map itself is a really good map. So having
You know,
it be the starting
I think
one.
it's one of the few controls where I am not particularly mad about playing any sub point. I'm usually
Yeah,
just like, ah,
exactly.
sweet, the start is great. I can do anything I want here. And then wherever we go next, I mean, most of the points you can just run the same thing over and over again if it's working. But it also provides for that ability to at least switch to something different if things aren't maybe panning out for you. But as the comps come
True.
out, I mean,
Ooh, okay. So Dorcas on the Lucio, that makes sense. Mint on the BAP, yeah, that's fairly common backline. Raptors on the Ramatra, which for Lijiang works very well. Texas on the Sim, but obviously will likely switch probably for a TP. TP from Spawn. Solar's on the Venture, but they're going against
Venture pick.
a Sig Brig, Ash, Hanzo, and a Wu Yang.
So a very defensive
And
backline here from Birdville in this
it looks like I was wrong. Texas is actually going to be running the Symmetra farther than just for a TP, but hey, that might work out in their favor because that's the unexpected element of it. A lot of teams
speaking of
would expect
unexpected,
this.
you know, Venture on this map, typically seen as maybe a substitute pick for this Tracer. They both provide the same goal and job of being backline pressure, as we see Dorcas finding that final pick on getting two picks actually onto the backline of Birdville.
Dorcas putting in work there. Yeah, this is a really good team composition when you think about it. Yes, people would obviously the sim is not it's not what people would immediately expect when you look at this composition, but it works really well because you can just TP your whole team into a backline if your Venture goes in, causes space, and then your Lucio jumps in to get that final pick. You can have your whole team jump in as right away you're going to see Raptor here using their blocks as cowls from the side of Birdville, switching over to the Czar, but Axel is going to get a pick on Solar. That's a tough pick to deal with. Raptor here going into the punches for him, is trying to face tank this Czar here with basically the entire group here, but they do have the ult in hand if they decide that they need to use it. They do have a very good opportunity as they are going to pop it here, going into punches for going first for the Hanzo. They are going to take down the Hanzo. The Soldier's going to fall next. They're chasing for the Zarya. They're going to take the opportunity and focus their targets on somebody else. As Solar here is going to help get the cleanup kill onto the last player that they could find. And you're going to see from that, Mint's going to have their ult. Dorcas is going to have the beat coming up soon, which is going to help because you do have that Wu Yang ult in hand potentially being used in this next fight as well.
And that's just the ideal fight to take there if you're Aubrey. You know, you let your Ram absorb all that damage and give space for your DPS to work with in the backline. Specifically this Venture being able to drill and throw around on top of this Brigand Wu Yang. As we see here, the Brigand pushing a little too
Solar's
deep.
going to get taken down early, but the window from Mint is going to do incredible work for them, just being able to cause so much chaos. A lot of picks coming out from it. Axel here trying to stay alive as long as they could. They aren't going to be able to stay alive long enough. They do have the ult in hand if they were to come back, but they can't, as they, despite the best efforts, Birdville is not able to get a touch. So that is the first point of Lijiang going to the side of Aubrey.
And that's kind of just, you know, the Ram comp accelerating in a position that Birdville kind of, you know, gave them that, I guess that advantage by making that switch to the Zarya. As good as Zarya is right now, unfortunately, into the Ram, you're just taking too much damage up front, and punches piercing your barriers and hitting your backline is just not the position you want to be in, especially in a more death ball style comp. But moving into this next point here, we do see a clean switch and over to a Brig on a backline for the side of Birdville, and sticking to the Ram comp here. You know, I couldn't imagine they'd make any switches. I mean, you just 100 on first point.
The TP there from Texas makes sense. Obviously, with this composition, you want to get early space control so that you can just really choose the target and dive into them, as we're just having the pre-fight here as Raptor looking to deal some more damage, but the Junker Queen is relatively close, so it's going to be interesting to see which team decides to kind of attack the other first, as Texas gets taken down by Frogs, the Ana, so Aubrey is down a player as Solar falls as well, so they don't have the man advantage as of now, but there's a lot of players that are low for the side of Birdville as Raptor's gonna get a punch onto Poe, and Dorcas is in the back line, gets two. They're going onto the point, just trying to make some chaos happen. The JQ is low, they're gonna fall. The Soj doesn't have a slot.
Ooh, the boom. I mean, that was just a really good rotation from the loot, and Sin finding their way into the back and being able to find two as their team was dying. And honestly, credit to Birdville for being able to play their comp how they wanted to, let their DPS find those opening picks, and even their Frogs, the Ana, got a pick in the midst of all that. But ultimately, Aubrey was able to come out on top with an excellent rotation and sustain in the mid fight, allowing them to maintain their point presence, and as well as that, capitalize on not having to use any ults.
Yeah, but speaking of ults, we're gonna see the Hanzo ult get used early on here. I was gonna mention potentially the Hanzo could try and hold on to it, see if they could stop them from a push, but they're not going to, as Raptor is gonna get slept here, but Dorcas is gonna take down the Hanzo.
Put him in the hurt locker.
Situation. Yeah, put him in the hurt locker, slammed the door, as both of your supports here have their ults. Raptor's coming up on theirs as well. Dorcas finds another pick onto the Ana. Dorcas just has a taste for blood right now. As,
I would not be surprised if this Lucio has the most final blows for their team.
I would not be surprised too. I think they're just under Raptor, but on elims, but still, jeez.
I mean, it's just Lucio being Lucio.
Yeah, the Lucio's going unpunished. You're going to see the Soj use the ult here, but you're gonna have the defensive wall from Texas there, and Raptor has their ult. They're gonna pop it. There's gonna be 3 dead already. Poe's the first taken down by Raptor's hands, but it's a team kill as Aubrey is going to take Lijiang on a 2-0 victory in a very from Birdville's choice. First hero ban from Birdville for Eichenwald is going to be Lucio, and Aubrey in response will be banning the Hanzo. So both heroes that we did see in that first map on Lijiang. So definitely valid hero bans.
I would have to agree. You eliminate two threats from, but you eliminate a threat from both sides that proved to be a little too troublesome at times. Hanzo being able to have that really long range, threat and anything of being able to, yeah, basically getting one tap by an arrow from like 50 meters away is not an ideal way to go out. And the Lucio being taken away from Dorcas, maybe will halt the aggression from him a little more. Maybe you're like,
maybe.
Okay, Lucio's banned from this map, and I can't play Lucio. But it's okay, because this map is, you don't really necessarily need that Lucio. Especially starting on the defense here for Aubrey, you can play a little more defensive and be really, really pokey and annoy Birdville by
which
playing
I
this
feel
really heavy spam
is
comp.
this is a very good comp for them here. The Venture, Texas on the Cast, you got Raptor on the Orisa, Dorcas on the Wuyang, Mint on the Baptiste. For the side of Birdville, you got Chaos. I'm gonna go with Chaos. I think that's the better one. On
I think that's how you say it.
Yeah, you got Poe on the Kiri, you got a Sim, you've got an Echo, and Frogs is on this Wuyang as the fight's already really taken place here. Birdville using the abilities they had in hand to get to the point, but they're already falling low. Mint's gonna get the first pick here as Raptor is going to find the Javelin onto Frogs. Solar takes down the Echo. Raptor finds a pick onto Chaos as well, and with that, the Sim is going to take the opportunity and teleport out of that fight to stay alive, as they're going to have to try and adapt a little bit. The strategy that they had in plan at first definitely works for the first touch, but you're not going to be able to abuse it to constantly get back and put pressure on the point. You're gonna have to be careful, as Raptor already fell.
I really like the idea that Birdville was going for there with that TP play. I think so. Gets picked up really by Mint. But the plan ultimately faltered because their target, being Dorcas, wasn't found. They had him dead to rights, and he was able to slink away into their backline and find damage.
That's very
and stayed alive through it all.
Speaking of Dorcas,
I mean,
Dorcas is gonna take down the Wuyang with the help of Raptor getting a lot of damage as well. Mint, once again, already has the BAP window. Mint is just farming these ults, as Raptor's coming up on their ults as well, which honestly, not a very talked about combo, but I do kind of like the combo of the Orisa ult. You grab in all the people, and then you have the BAP window if needed, but you don't even need to use that combo, as well, you use the BAP window to take down one target to begin, and you basically have a team kill off of that. So
yeah, I do say there are some underrated combos in this game. I'm not too sure how I feel about a Terra window. I mean, it's definitely funny to say, but I'm looking at this Venture from Solar, and I see a Terra Thirst. I'm thinking that's meaty damage with a Tectonic Shock into an Orisa ult.
Yeah, no, I was saying more like the BAP uses the window from a distance, like a sniper from behind, as your opponents just get pulled in from the Terra Surge.
I mean, Terra Surge is a rather goofy ultimate. I've seen people in the Skybomb get dragged out. This is another one that comes to mind.
Oh, almost finds a pick off of the ult alone, but is dangerously low. Is going to get taken down. Raptor is not going to be able to find a pick on the Sim there, but Solar's going to be able to help with taking out that other target. And honestly, you guys, they've been cycling ults very well, and with that ult cycling, you do have the High Noon from Texas. You gotta be a little careful though, because the opponent Sim does have the ult window in place if they decide they need to do it, but they keep teleporting to this one area. So, Texas is gonna get walled off before they can pop the High Noon. Solar here is trying to, might have had a little bit of a lag spike there. You're gonna see Chaos pop their ult as well. But so far, Aubrey's staying alive pretty well. You're seeing, Chaos is just getting melted by the combination of Mint, Dorcas, and Raptor still alive. You do pop the Immortality Field, but I mean, with the amount of time that's left, it's a smart. It's kind of your only option. Frog's gonna try and touch and sacrifice themselves, but they just melted beforehand. Chaos is going to be able to touch, but Solar has the ult. They're going to pop it. They're looking for a kill. They're going to find Poe and the Sim. The only person alive is Chaos, and they're going to get taken down by Mint in the end. Echo was alive, but wasn't able to touch, and that's going to be the defense for Aubrey, complete with 0% for Birdville.
I mean, truthfully, playing Hazard into this very heavy spam comp is rather difficult. They tried to alleviate the pressure on their Haz during rotations by going for the Sim TP plays, which is, you know, in practice, a good idea. Unfortunately, the execution was just not there when they needed it, and they got really close to getting a cap potentially on first point, but it was
They did get very close.
They were unfortunately not able to secure the backline, and Mint, Dorcas were able to support Raptor as they cleaned up the rest of Birdville on the point.
Yeah, and honestly, if I can say one thing with that, yes, I did like the concept of the Sim TPs. I feel like after you try it 3 or 4 times,
they know what you're going for.
You gotta change up the strategy. The idea is already there. That last or second to last, maybe last fight that you had
trying
where...
to copy the TP?
They might be.
Are they gonna go over the
They might be trying the same idea.
Which it looks like they are.
You know, you can try it. Give it a try. See, all right, you guys tried that strat, but how prepared are you to defend against that strat? But yeah, after the 3rd or 4th time, you kind of have to switch it up. I mean, you saw it from Texas on that second to last or last fight, where yeah, they are going to do this.
They're going for it.
Yeah, they're going for it. Where they had the cast ult and just were ready for the specific, like they knew the TP was coming and were already positioned there. As Raptor's gonna come in swinging right off the bat looking for a target. The Immortality Field is going to get thrown out by Frogs for Birdville, but Raptor finds a pick, Mint finds a pick, Texas finds a pick, and that's the game, or that's the map at least, as Aubrey's gonna take Eichenwald in a 1-0 fashion. But yeah, that, as I was kind of saying, part of it has to be the adaptability. You have to be able to adapt so that you're not falling into predictable patterns. As you're gonna see Raptor here with a play of the game, is gonna get a nice spear onto Frog. from Birdville. Looking at it from an outsider perspective, the Baptiste from Mint has gotten the window so fast, so many times. So Mint has to have been doing something right on that Baptiste. So banning the aggressive Lucio, you know, the hero bans make sense. The Weaver, understandable, it's first map. You don't know what you're going to be dealing with next, or what you're going to be dealing with on that map, so you kind of just, you ban what you feel is best. But off of the info they've been gathering, I feel like these are good hero bans, as Aubrey is going to be attacking first, and you see a fairly similar DPS and support setup from Birdville, but Chaos is on the Hog, as for the side of Aubrey, Raptors switched over to the Czar for the time being. Dorcas is going over to the Kiri. You've got Mint on the Wuyong. Solar is going to be on the Venture, and Texas is still undecided.
Potentially looking at a late pick here, maybe for Widow. Nope, we're going Sojourn. You know, I was thinking in my mind, maybe you late pick Widow, so they don't expect the Widow to come out of spawn, but maybe it was just away from the setup. Honestly, looking at comps right now, just while I have the time, I do like this on a break Hog on defense here. Without Baptiste, it's kind of unoptimal to play a poke comp, so you aim for something a little more unorthodox that really throws the enemy through a loop. And the Zarya comes on the side of Aubrey. Personally, a P.V.A. mine, that was a really good bubble. A P.V.A. mine is Zar with no speed, just because Zar is inherently a really slow tank. I think you really do need the speed to make her play at her full potential, but Raptor's doing a really good job at just playing this more, maybe they're aiming for a more defensive Zarya, that point presence, that tanker who just gives bubbles to the DPS if they need it, like the Venture or the Soj. But the Soj we see is actually just holding cart down as Aubrey are, I guess,
going
lightning lands. Yeah, they're just holding up at the end of first point already.
I mean, Raptor has been playing this very well with the bubbles, keeping their team alive. Solar as the Venture here, very honestly, I do like Venture as a hero in this kind of aggressive situation. And I do kind of prefer them over what you would see in like a Reaper, because you have, I feel like the Venture kit can be very powerful, as you are going to see the Venture getting ulted, or getting the ult from Wuyong, is not going to be able to find a pick off of it, but is going to burrow in time to stay alive. They are dangerously low, so they're going to get taken down there. So Raptor here trying to keep the rest of Birdville at bay for the time being. Raptor's gonna find a bubble onto their teammate there to keep them alive. Texas is here trying to help out as best as they can. They are 100% charged to a right click. They're gonna try and take out Frogs with a right click, but not enough damage done just yet. You're gonna see Poe from Birdville pop in the Briggle, trying to go aggressive, but they fall dangerously low and have to play it a little more defensive right off the bat. Dorcas does have the Kitsune Rush if they decide they need it. Solar is going to get taken down from Chaos. They're going to see the grab get popped here from Raptor. It's going to find two. Dorcas is going to get taken down from Chaos, but Min's going to find the pick onto Chaos in the end, and they're going to be able to get it to the first stopping point of the payload, as Texas is going to find the final pick onto Frogs, who was the last alive in that situation.
Looking at a 4-minute timing coming into second point, this stretch of Shambali is arguably one of the hardest point here to push through. Sidelines are really awkward for offense. Defense usually will have time to position themselves in either that small window or on this corner here where we see Texas playing at, and just mitigating as much space for the offense. But because of the late picks that Aubrey were able to find, they are able to take this position much sooner than Birdville can get to it. So they have this advantage coming in here as Ultra
Solar's gonna pop the Venture ult. It's not gonna work yet, as you see the Nanode Hog with the ult as well, and the Nanode Hog is going to cause chaos, no pun intended, as they're going to be able to find at least 3 picks, as Frogs is going to take down Mint at the end. That's a rough stagger to have. But with that, you've got Texas, who does have the overclock.
Whoa.
Kiri ult, Kitsune Rush in hand, Mint's close to their ult, and Raptor said, you know what? Screw the Czar. if you're gonna be able to heal, I'm just gonna burn you alive with the Mog.
You know, I will say I think the Mog is a much better switch here. But,
As they really take down Axel.
well, I mean,
jeez.
Yeah, that was really... God, he just caved that poor Hanzo's skull in with his bare feet.
Solar finds a pick onto Frogs, and the rest of their team does. The rest of Aubrey does have ults, but I feel they'll probably hold on to it here, as Texas is going to get taken down by the Ashe and Roadhog combination here. I feel like at this point you just were able to bait out the Bob, a very strong ult in and of itself, as Solar, Raptor, and Min are gonna find picks, and Frog's the only one left alive, getting chased by the Venture and the Maga.
Yeah, that was overkill, but it's secured nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely secured when you have the Venture and Maga chasing you. But with that, only one ult needed to be used as they won that fight, and with the amount of people that they have on the payload, they're going to be able to get that progress very fast. Raptor's going to live. Immaculate care from their team there, as they were antied and hooked and almost guaranteed dead, but they're going to stay alive. You're going to see the Wu Yang ult from that as well. It's going to find the Ashe. Raptor's gonna get slept again. 130, and they stay alive until they get hooked.
Yeah, just really well timed hook there from Chaos, being able to secure that pick onto Raptor as he was trying to get out alive, and a big pick on the Dorcas in the pre-fight as well. That's time lost from Aubrey there without their carry back. She'll be back soon though, but that's a little bit of time lost, and it may have been like 5 seconds, but those 5 seconds can matter in a map like Shambhala and in most expert maps.
They definitely can, as Dorcas is taken down by Chaos again. You're gonna see the Hanzo ult get popped here as well. It takes down Solar. Chaos is gonna find a pick onto Raptor, and Texas is just gonna be forced to kind of retreat there. I feel like in this case, right, if there's an ult,
barely
to stay alive. If there's an ult combo you want to bait out before you pop in with your, Venture ult, your Maga ult, and the Soj ult, you probably want to try and bait out the Ana and the Hog ult, as Frog's gonna find the pick onto Texas. You're gonna see Bob get popped. You're gonna see the Nano, and Chaos is gonna pop their ult as well. So 3 ults popped there to confirm that fight. And there's still a minute and a half left.
Bit of an overcommit there, Austin.
Yeah,
I can't lie.
Is now Raptor's gonna get the cage and find 2. You're gonna have Mint on the Ana being able to anti the Chaos. Jeez, why is it Kalos? I've been playing too much Pokemon.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Finding the cage and the anti onto Chaos to confirm that pick, and you've still got Dorcas's Kitsune Rush, you've still got Solar's Venture ult, and you force them, they have to touch, but now the question is how long can they survive on the touch? Because you have 2 very powerful ults that are being popped at the same time. Raptor is anti, but is going to stay alive, and Solar's going to find 3. Dorcas will find the pick onto Chaos. You've got the Ashe is the last person that could touch, but they're slept, and Solar jumping from the ground takes them out for 3-0 for the attack of Aubrey, with 30 seconds left in OT if needed.
Birdville just overplayed their hand at the end there. When that fight where Texas popped Sojol and slid immediately into the front line, they find that opening, pick off a well-placed nade from Frogs, and then for some reason decided to commit even further in with a nano hoggle that found no kills, immediately recognizing that
and
Raptor in the next fight and the Bob too. Committing those ults into that fight. Raptor came in with cage uncontested. If you had your whole hog there and maybe a nano, you clean up that fight pretty well, I'd say. And on top of that, I think, playing this double hit scan with Hog is double sniper with Hog is just a little too passive. You definitely need it more of like an enforcer DPS, like a Reaper, or even like a Mei, or a Venture of your own if you're really feeling daring. Just to mark their backline DPS and put a little more pressure onto the tank. This Raptor was just able to kind of walk freely, and the times where Raptor died, it was overzealous commits with charge on the Mauga, or just no bubbles on Zar.
Fair, yeah. Now, this is an interesting attack composition, indeed. But you see the on a break backline, which, you know, there is a Winston, so that is understandable. You see the Echo, and Texas is on the Ashe. So I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I have a feeling that Echo might not have as good of a time as they envisioned with, you know, Texas being able to deal with the aerials, as Texas is immediately going to kill Chaos, and Solar's going to be dealing with the Echo for a bit before they kind of switch targets. But this is a tough composition to be on if you are a Winston here, because you jump on the grouped up team and you have to deal with the Reaper. You got to deal with, in some cases, the Dynamite, the Anti. Raptor has the ability to kind of push you around and choose where you go, as you see Solar already taking some shots onto Chaos, who's fairly low to begin with. Their team kind of just has to try and heal them up, as Solar's gonna keep their eye on this side angle and see what they can find. Raptor's going for the support of Frogs, and they're gonna take them down. They do get antied in the process, but now down one of your supports, you're in a difficult position for Birdville, as Poe here could get staggered. Solar's gonna take down the Tracer. I think Poe only lives because the rest of the team is focused on the Tracer in the back line. But
I mean, I can't lie, Caustic. I wonder where Poe was when Frogs was just getting absolutely beaten down by Raptor in their choke in their main. Just zero cover there from the brig. Your whole job there being to protect your Ana with your life, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that is fair, as we're gonna see this main fight kind of just in this small corner area. Raptor's going to get nanoed. Chaos is going to try to right-click somebody, and did end up being taken down by themselves.
I remember doing that.
Find an anti onto Poe for the kill, so put that in your bingo card if you had that, a anti-kill. But early on here, Solars is coming up on this Reaper ult. Texas is close to theirs as well. Mint's really the only one who isn't that close, because they popped it recently. Chaos is going to take down Mint, though. A little bit of a tough scenario. Poe's going to pop the Brig Rally, but from the current position, not too much that it had to deal with right away. Raptor's going to pop this Orisa ult. They are going to get anti during it. Chaos is dangerously low. They are going to get taken down from Dorcas, and Solar uses the opportunity. You're seeing double Reaper. And Solar's going to win the battle with the Echo dupe, or Echo duped Reaper, and stay alive, as Mint's going to find the pick onto them afterwards.
I mean, that fight was just really hectic and chaotic. You saw the Reaper Lost and the Terrors just come out from the side of Aubrey as they are not popping this Kitsune Rush, trying to take this fight really early on point.
Yeah, early Kitsune Rush, you're gonna see the... Dorcas finds a one-tap onto the Tracer in the backline. Texas, one of two that are alive, but they're gonna find the Dynamite and take down one. Chaos does have a lot of charge. They are going to fall from that. Mint is alive, but they're gonna just jump back as best as they can, because they have the Nano in hand, and you've got two, technically three pretty good options. Texas is coming back from spawn. If they get there in time, you're gonna have the grab
the back line.
You have Solar as an option if you need, but you're gonna get taken down ahead of time. But Texas is able to throw Bob into the ring, and that's gonna help them out a bunch. Dynamite's gonna get popped. Frog was very low, is gonna get healed up. Chaos is gonna find a pick onto Solar, as Bob is no longer in the mix of things. Mint is trying to come back from spawn. Raptor is not able to touch. Mint is not able to touch either, so it's going to go to 3-1 on this map so far. going to the second point, as you're going to see some switches here. Solar's going to go onto the Venture. Raptors on the Ram now.
I mean, that fight at the end, Toxic. That fight at the end, truthfully, we have seen Aubrey come into these, like, in these 2v3 fights and come out on top in really weird combinations. I just think if Texas had the Bob in the backline there, instead of trying to huddle up on the sidewall, you provide a little more value for your team. You force the people in the back out into the open or into the small room away from their team. And that dynamite burn damage almost was enough to take care of Chaos and
what's here, and
that's an aggressive fight to make.
Not gonna let the early scare get in their way. They're gonna get nanoed off of that as well, and just taking the opportunity to go in as aggressive as they can, do as much chaos. They're gonna pop the ult here. You're gonna see the dupe get into this fight as well. Axel's gonna find a pick with that dupe, but the Echo dupe is low and is going to get taken down. So now you got Dorcas trying to 1v1 the Echo's gonna win as well. And now Dorcas, ooh, they were, oh, Dorcas takes down the Tracer, the only
and
person
gets out alive. Okay.
Lives.
Mint took the sacrifice of the Sentry, pulling the attention of the Zarya back from Dorcas, able to finish off not only the Tracer, but get the Echo in the process as well by a little bit of time on point and escape with their lives. A Curie Rush online for them now as well, Caustic, which may spell the end for Virgo here.
Popped early. Raptor here looking for the opportunity to get some punches. You're gonna see the grab get popped and the Tracer pulse. It's not gonna find a pick though. Raptor still in this punches form, is focused on the Czar, and is going to be able to get the pick onto the Czar with the help of Texas. Now the only person really contesting the payload right now for the side of Birdville was the Tracer, as they're going to get taken down from Dorcas once more. But
I mean, that fight, Caustic, I don't know if you noticed, but they were trying to go for a grab pulse play, and Dorcas hit a really well-timed Suzu to deny the pulse damage, keep his grab teammates alive. Not only that, get the pick onto Excel at the end there. I mean, I need to call up Dorcas and get some tips on how to play this Kiriko, because jeez, they are causing as much chaos as they possibly can. You're gonna see the Brig rally get used, but they are gonna fall relatively fast. And now you do have Raptors ult. It's gonna find two already as they try and take down the Echo. They're gonna take them down too, and that's everyone. That's gonna be the team kill. That's gonna be 3-0 on the maps, on the map set. That's gonna be 3-0 on this week's match. I mean, just a well-played match from Aubrey, as Darkest finding play of the game as well on the Kiriko. Very well deserved, I'd have to add.
Oh, 100% deserved.
I mean, this is the play I'm talking about here. Kills the Echo in the backline, grabs the health pack back to push, but you see Mint sacrificing themselves just to keep Dorcas alive by pulling the attention, and just 1, 2...